we were at 98.7 KISS FM under Image Broadcasting, which was white-owned, black-formatted radio station. And what was very interesting is I've seen black-owned radio stations, black-owned television stations that would not have touched those individuals. They may have mentioned them.
So why do you think that is? Why do you think that those folks who ran and owned those TV stations, the TV station, were willing to step out on a limb? Some people might suggest that they were doing it because they're still in control of what was going on, that you thought you were controlling something, but they ultimately controlled the image. So you may have both sides of the argument. So what would you say to that?
Well, one of the things I'll say here, and I'll let Bob Slade elaborate, is that management at that particular time at KISS FM trust Bob Slade. Bob Slade was the news director, and they trusted this man. He came up with the ideas of the talk shows, OpenLine, the Weekend Review, Soul Beginnings, and they trusted him. So at the end of the day, they trust his judgment. And when anytime there might be something that came up, they may call him in the office to find out what's going on. But after he explained what it is, they knew that we were a talk show, and there may be controversial figures or controversial issues out there, but they trusted this man out here, and Bob Slade never let us or the show in any negative direction.
Yeah, I tried to keep most of that drama away from the players because they need to be concentrating on the show. I was saying, I'll deal with these folks in the office, the front office. You know, it's like a manager of a baseball team. You basically go in and say, well, look, like you said, the manager of the Yankees or the Mets or something like that, and you say, well, look, I'll deal with management. What's your problem? All right, I'll deal with these guys over here, and I'll keep that from y'all. I'll let y'all know what the progress is and what happens to it. But they basically trusted us as a program that they knew that we were going to take it in the right direction, and that the station wasn't going to get harmed, and we weren't going to lose sponsors, and they weren't going to lose business because of it. Mm-hmm. And that's what it is. We had a track record of doing that. We won a bunch of media awards and things like that that gave us some power.
Well, that's a powerful thing. Speaking of power, I had two other questions I wanted to consider with you all today, and that is, one is about looking at black or African men. As men of African descent, you had some ideas, some thoughts about those things, Brother Fatim. Why don't you tell us what your thoughts were?
Well, at the end of the day, black men are under attack, were under attack. And when I say we're under attack, and we still are under attack, exactly, we still are. We go pre-Million Man March, the image of black men, not only in this country but across the globe, was not good. When you saw the news, you saw us coming out, the perp walk, with hands behind our back, other stories that you saw that went global, or the other issues, it was negative images of us as black men. We were not considered or taken serious when it came to talking about or dealing with issues of concern, not only in a black community, but mainstream issues. They didn't have us talking about that. Then at the next day, if you start to look at the news, you start to see them integrate white male anchor, black female. So basically, what do? You have that whole thing about equal opportunity. So what did they do? Kill two birds with one stone, as they say? Well, we'll hire a black, we'll hire a woman. That's about the black man. So at the end of the day, you didn't have so many outlets, media outlets, that had black men talking about mainstream issues. Not just issues in the black community, mainstream. There's politics. Before there was a President Barack Obama, there was other issues that affected us. And that's why I say Bob Slade, he was the visionary and said, hey, you know what? For us to be taken serious, I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to do what I can do. I can't change the world, but what I can do in this medium, I'm going to take that chance, and I'm going to do that. And Bob Slade said, I'm going to bring a group of black men, intelligent black men, and we're going to discuss issues, all issues, black issues, white issues, mainstream issues. And for that, I thought, and I know that helped. That helped images here in New York City. It helped. I hear young folks coming up to me, man, I was listening to Open Line, man, we patterned our shows after Open Line and this, that, and the other. And we didn't just stop there. We also implemented and dealt with issues that affect women, and we brought sisters in, and we still do. But at the end of the day, bobsleigh changed that image, at least in the tri-state area, that black men could have those kind of conversations.
So I'm going to toss the final question to you then. And as we wrap up here, I want you to talk about legacy. You know, what is the legacy that he speaks about, that you bring to the table, and that Open Line brings to the table for our community?
Well, we still have a problem with black anchors, because on television you don't see that many hosting the 6 o'clock news, or you see a few here and there, but we still don't have that many. Male anchors. You know, you see the females, but you don't see the brothers. We still have a problem there. You see our brother reporter here and there, and so on and so forth. As far as anchoring, no. We still have a problem there. That's got to change. As far as the talk shows are concerned, what we're trying to do is set a model for others to follow. Like I said, I like to call this infotainment, not entertainment, not information totally. We're giving you information in an entertaining way. We try to do it that way. And so you have to have players that are willing to buy into the concept. And you have, what you see on television now is really, all these shows, if you watch these shows, they're really Open Line and We Can Review on TV. Right. I was looking at that show there, look, they got panel discussions. I'm going like, whoa, what's going on here? But it's the same thing, yeah. I'm glad to see it happen. But on the black radio side, you know, I'm sad about radio, because radio is trying to compete with Pandora and somebody's you know, portable music machine or whatever they're carrying with them, and just playing songs after songs and not even talking to people. Radio is designed to keep people interested in knowing that there's some life outside, or there's something going on outside. The disc jockey is important. The disc jockey was the person that you realize was on the air talking to you. We've taken that person out of radio and we're replacing him with songs.
Right.
And that's sad. So what we're trying to do is bring that back. We try to do it with our shows. We try to have them entertaining. We imitate television. Television imitates radio, so what we do is we turn around and imitate television. They play audio sound bites. They play, you know, clips of, you know, stuff going on, music. We do that too.
Well, speaking of television and radio, I want to thank you for
it's
joining.
It's over?
You know how quick it goes.
I just want to say something real quick, if I could.
Do it.
Okay.
Legacy.
Yes.
Real quick, Open Line. Legacy in the sense of providing a platform and making a difference. Meaning that sometimes you saw issues being dealt with in our community on the news. It was a 2 or 3 minute soundbite. We provided a platform to deal with that issue. Making a difference. We made a difference in a lot of stories. And one story I would leave you with is the Central Park jockey story. Bobsleigh stayed on that. We at Open Line stayed on that. And those boys were wrongfully accused, and it finally came out. We made a difference, and this man led the charge on that.
Well, it's always good to have good players on your team that listen to you and say, hey, we disagree every once in a while. But when it comes down to it, it's all about the show. And it's all about getting it on the air and letting people judge for themselves what we're doing.
I think it's all about the people. But,
and we'll let it rest with that. Well, I want to thank you, brothers.
Pleasure, brother.
It's my pleasure to have Brother Bobsleigh and Fatim Muhammad right here on The Pulse. I'm Dr. Khalfani, and I want to thank you for joining us. Stay tuned, because we're going to have more shows, more great information for you on our next segment. But for right now, we're ending up with Open Line. Peace.